Welcome back, gamers, to the Game Master's Dungeon. I am Brian, your Game Master. Today we're going to talk about some player tips. So how to up your game as a player, regardless of what you play. You're playing miniature wargaming, you're playing tabletop role-playing games, you're playing other stuff where you need stuff to be able to play your game. Okay? So today's example, we're just an old classic, we're just going to talk about Dungeons and Dragons. Okay? It could be anything, you know, whatever role-playing game you play. You play GURPS, you play Vampire, I want to say Masquerade, but that's not the newest one. What is it? Vampire, the Requiem, whatever it is now. I have to look at that. I have all the books. You're going to need stuff. Sure, your first few games, you know, your friends get you over. And, hey man, let's go, you know, play some D&D. Oh man, I don't have any stuff. Hey man, it's cool. I got a little extra stuff. I'll let you use. Come try it out. See what you think. All right. So you played those couple of games. And you're like, okay, I like this. I'm willing to invest a little bit of money. What do you need? Okay. One thing that I'm going to suggest, because most times you're going to go somewhere else. Somebody else's place, to a different place besides your house, okay? Or even if you stay at home, you know, everybody comes to your place, you're still going to want this item. What I'm going to suggest is, maybe, the game bag. It could be anything. Like, this is an old laptop bag that I had that was given to me. Like, it's like 10 years old. Bunch of pockets inside, the laptop portions on the inside, how it has the little dividers where like there's the slot for the laptop and then other stuff. It's great for my books, you know, my game books. Then I can put my player notebook in there, some extra notebooks. I've got, you know, I can put maps and stuff in there. I can put page dividers, all the supplies that I'm going to need. Why is this important? Why is this important? Okay. Well, let's talk about that. First of all, it keeps all your stuff organized. It's all in one place. Like your dice, your pens, your pencils, your books, paper, everything you need, it's there, right? So, example, I go to my friend's house, we play a game, get all my stuff out, we play, pack it all up, put it back in my bag, put it back in my car. You know, maybe you don't even have to bring it in the house, you just leave it in the trunk. You know, next week, you go over there, got your game bag, you're never without it, okay? That's the worst thing, showing up to a game, be like, oh crap, forgot all my stuff, I don't have my pens, my character sheets, I don't have my books. You know, you don't want to go up to a game looking like that, looking like a bum. So, but what's in the bag? That's a good question. Well, I'm going to get the camera around here and we're going to look close. I'm going to show you what I got in my bag. Stay tuned, we'll be right back. Alright gamers, here we go. We're going to dig into the game bag. Now, like I said, every bag going to be different, you know. Maybe you don't want to spend 50 bucks on a leather laptop bag. Go to thrift stores, you know, your discount stores. You know, here in Utah we have the DI where you go and you buy used stuff. Go to Goodwill, Big Lots, you know, whatever you've got nearby where you could get something cheap, an old book bag or something from school when you were in high school, or if you're in high school, use a book bag. I'm assuming you probably have at least one or two over the years, you know, as you tear it up. Get the old one out. As long as it's got one good strap on it that you can carry it around. That's all you need. But let's get into it. Boom, the bag. Okay. Minus it being covered in cat hair. So I got like all these pockets on the front so I can put stuff in. Let's see. So like I've got all kinds of crap in here. Like I've got rectangular labels. You know, if you need to put labels on paper or you're looking, you know, making tabs for books, tabs in your notebook, you know, super easy, cheap, nice, good to have. Like I got a couple of pencils. You always want to have 2 or 3 pencils. I've got like a handful in here. Because like you're going to show up to the game and somebody doesn't have a pencil. It's always good for you to be the guy that has extra. You can buy a box of cheap at Walmart, Target, whatever. I was GMing with this for a while, so I got like all these map pieces. You know, his little map tokens, got rocks and stuff. If you play with a board or you know, one of those Chessex mats that have like the hex or the square on there, those are good to just place out, mark stuff, you know, logs and things like that. Set this down here. And then definitely dice. Just a simple set. You can get them pretty cheap. You can buy them online. You can go to your local game store. 4, 5, 6, 7 of them. So you got your D20, got your D12, you got your 2D10. So your single, like your single digits, and you got your tens place. You got your D8, your D6, your D4. I would suggest buying extra D4s, D6s, D8s, because those are pretty common. You know, a lot of damage will be like magic missiles, a bunch of D4s instead of 1, 2, 3, 4. You have a handful. You can get them like individually pretty cheap. You probably go online and just buy like a pound of dice. This is what I did. I bought a pound of dice. It was like 10, 12 bucks back in the day. Gave me a whole bunch of different dice, D8s as well for rolling health and damage. D6s are super common for stuff you need for damage, for all kinds of things, like especially if you play like a rogue or something that does like, you know, sneak attack damage. Most of the time the sneak attack damage is going to be a bunch of extra D6s, you know. So you've got your set of dice. So you got your pencils, your dice, you got your labels. Set that off to the side. What do we got next? I think honestly one of the most important things is going to be your, is that the right way? This is my player's binder. This has got all my characters in there. So like I got a dry erase marker. I'll show you why that's important in a minute. Like this game we were playing, my character had the map that my DM drew. You know, so I had the map in my binder. So I've always got my map if I need to. I have a whole notebook in here, cheap notebook. You know, 70s cheap. You can get them for less than $1. The best time to buy this stuff is like during the like back to school time. Like Walmart, Target, Shopko. They just sell these cheap books for, you know, pennies. You know, you can get them for like 25 cents, you know, 50 cents or whatever. Buy a stack of them. That's what we did. We bought like 20 of them just laying around the house because we always used them. You know, then you know, you can have one for your character. You can have one in your DM bag, whatever you've got. Now you get onto your character sheets. So I don't know how well you can see it, but I've got them in these little, see, these little plastic protectors. Little page protectors, right? You're like, well, Brian, why do you need that? You got to write on them. Well, actually, I don't write on them very often. The only time I write on them is when I first generate the character, and then when I level up. So what I do, dry erase marker, you know, so this character's got 45 HP. I can just be like, oh, we took 7 damage, you know, because you've got your wounds, current health. So this is a Pathfinder character sheet. So I've got 45. You know, oh, I take some damage. You just wipe it off, like so. Oh, I'm down to 40 now. Oh, I took more damage. You can wipe it off. Oh, now I'm down to 30. You know, whatever. Now the one, I've had these protectors for a while. These ones are kind of like coarse on the top. If you're going to buy those, I would suggest getting, I think I've got some later in the back, the like the flat ones, like the slick matte finish ones. Like right here, this is a good one. This is nice and smooth, so it's easier for the dry erase marker to go on and off. So you've got all of your character sheets, you know, for your current characters. You want have extra in there, so if you make new characters or a character dies, you make a new one, boom, there we go. Even if a character dies, I like to keep the character sheet. It's a sentimental thing, I don't know. I like to have extra character sheets of all the games that I'm currently playing. So, you know, because I'll have some people that want to run Mutants and Masterminds. Some people want to run Pathfinder. Some people want to run Star Wars. You know, we have people play, oh, there's more Pathfinder sheets. Old school. Old school right here. This is Vampire the Masquerade. This is like from back in the day. You can tell these sheets are like yellowish, you know, already. But I got those in there. Why? Like, well, Brian, who plays that anymore? I still have the books. I enjoyed the system. If I want to create a character, or if I want to run a game, I've got the sheets. I can just pass out. It's always good, you know, have extra sheets. Especially maybe you've got the noob coming. Maybe you invited a friend to your game and they don't have any of this stuff. Get them a character sheet. Bring them a pencil. You know, help provide that kind of stuff. You know, get them into the game. Because they're going to be like, oh yeah, man, it was cool. Like, you know, he brought all the stuff. He let me use his dice and his pencils and his pens. He gave me a character sheet. You know, just whatever you can do to enhance that person's first experience will get them to keep coming back to your game. And this is like old 2nd edition Mutants and Masterminds. I've got the 4th edition. These were like the ones I actually bought. Like the Encounter Daily At Will Power cards. Basically, I just bought them, then I just made a bunch of copies. I've got some Dungeons and Dragons. I had to believe this is like 3-5 character sheets. Then I've got character sheets for, what is this? I think it says War Machine, the role-playing game that they came out with. One of these days I'm going to do a video on that. We're going to talk about that. It's actually really fun. I got that in there. Then, like, you know, I always show this off to all my friends, but this is like an old, so this is an old 2nd edition, right? 2nd edition Advanced Dungeons and Dragons character sheet. Like, it was my friend printed it back in the day when, you know, the paper came like this. He'd like tear it apart, had little holes on the side, you know, peeled that off, but I never took it apart because I just flipped it around, you know, stuck it in there. The reason why this is important, this keeps all your stuff organized. You come to the game, you sit down, boom, your current character's on top, you know, you got your notebook, got your dry erase marker, oh, I got my map, I can set my map out, got my pencil, I got my dice, ready to go, okay? You're ready. See, super fast. Have it in your bag, keep it ready to go, bring it in the house, you know, you want to look at your stuff, put it back in your bag. Well, I've even got some of these little, I keep these plastic, hard plastic card holders, you know, like you put like more expensive, you know, magic cards or whatever in, because these are really good too for notes, you know, oh, I got 40 HP, you know, I got 5 first level spells, I got 3 second level spells, and I got 2 third level spells, and you can just mark off, you know, all that kind of stuff. And then at the end of the day, you just take it and wipe it off on the paper, your shirt, whatever, stick it back in your thing, boom, boom, back in the bag, okay? What else have I got in here? I have extra notebooks. Somebody's always going to forget a notebook. I do like to use these sometimes. These are these little index dividers. So, you know, so you could divide your player book into Dungeons and Dragons, Vampire, you can do Pathfinder, you know, you can just flip directly to it. You can divide it into, you know, characters, maybe you've got all your maps and stuff. Just keep your thing organized. Makes you look like you know what you're doing. All right, so let's turn the camera back around here and we're going to recap, and then we'll be back in a second. All right, gamers, so let's recap. First, you're going to ask, okay, Brian, why are we going through your bag, your gaming bag? I don't really care about that. Well, it's really meant more for the people that are getting started as players, you know, what's going to help them, because, you know, like when you're like in school, you see the guy that just carries all of his books, papers are falling out, and there's a pencil in his mouth, you know, he's running around, he looks distraught, you know, he looks like he doesn't know what he's doing. This, you're going to go to your game, you're going to take your bag, you're going to set it down, get out all your stuff. It's everything you need, everything is organized. You're not like, oh, well, did I bring this? Do I have my dice? Do I have this? Do I have that? No, you got it all. Why is that important? Because most of us that play, even somewhat seriously, on a consistent basis, you know, we like to have everything organized. We like to have everything. It's kind of a pride thing as well. Especially, you know, you've been playing for D&D a couple of years. You're going to have your books. The one thing I don't have in my bag are my books. Well, because right now I'm currently not playing anything just because of my work schedule with the rest of my group. But normally I would have my player's handbook, or I'd have my, you know, supplement books for whatever I'm playing, you know, the rule book for whatever game I'm playing. So I have my own, because the DM, GM is going to have theirs. Honestly, all the players should have at least the main rule book. Let's go back to talking about Dungeons and Dragons. Everybody should have a player's handbook of the whatever current edition you're playing. 5th edition, 4th edition, 3rd edition, 2nd edition, 1st edition, whatever. Everybody should have that, because that's going to have most of the meat and potatoes that they're going to need to play that character. You don't be like, wait a minute, I got this feat. What does that do? Hey, can I see your book? Slows things down. I would definitely invest in the books that you need. Like if you're playing like a martial class, you don't really need the arcane magic user books unless you plan to play a magic user. Save yourself a little money. Or if you're going to be GMing, slowly acquire those books so you can add extra stuff. You don't have to go out and buy like, all right, I'm going to start playing 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons. I need all these books to be able to play. No, get the main 3. Player's Handbook, Dungeon Master's Guide, Monster Manual. Sure, that's going to be a bit of a buy right there at the beginning, but I mean those books, like I still have my original 2nd edition Dungeons and Dragons books. Those things are older than probably some of you that are watching, but I still got them, still in good shape. I can still use them. I can still take them to the game. They're still relevant if we're going to play that system. Whatever game book you buy, take care of it, and it'll last you. You know, you can give it to your kids or whatever. Teach your kids how to play. You know, I had a friend that had, I think it was the 1st edition Advanced Dungeons and Dragons book. They let me have one. They had an extra player's handbook. They gave me one. Cool. I bought the other books that I needed for what I needed to play. Still have that stuff. It's somewhere in storage, you know, locked away. Just because I don't have the original. We don't play that enough. Plus, I bought the new ones. I think I did a video on Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. They did that re-release with the nice, you know, leather-looking cover and the gilded pages and things like that. But recap: get something to carry your stuff in. Get like a book bag, laptop bag, pencils, dice, paper, character sheet. Get one of these. You know, you can get them for a couple of bucks. Get the little pages that you slip the paper into, and it's all, you know, hole punch. You know, keep the pages protected so they don't get all crumpled. You can get those for like $1 or $2. Boom, you got your player's book right there. Buy the books you need to play. Keep them in your bag. Keep your dice in the bag. Everything in your bag, and you're always ready to play. All right. So thanks for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends. Especially if you've got somebody new that maybe needs some help or doesn't quite know how to really get started. Show them this video. Give them a share. So until next time, I see you in the dungeon. Have a game.